The first card you have, you pass the Four of Pentacles. Okay, so I'm seeing something around a job here. It feels a bit like a fresh start, but not a truly fresh start. What I mean by that is, that doesn't even make sense, but not a real fresh start for you. It's like you'd really like to do something else. This is what I'm getting, but you're doing something for now, even though it might be something quite new to you, because it feels like you ended something around work, and you started something new, but I don't think this is what you want to be doing forever. That's what it feels like. But you're working toward that other thing. You're working toward that, I think, and I think as long as you're doing something toward that, it feels okay for you. You don't mind doing what you're doing. You haven't got given up on this other thing, because if you look at this card, he's got this crown on his head. It's a bit of a flat crown, but he's got a crown on his head. And there's a coin on top of the crown. So, when you're finally doing what you ultimately want to do, that's when your crown will show. It's still there, but it's hidden under the coin right now, because building up your money and all of that kind of thing, it's a necessity to you. But I think once that's all done, and you're further on down the road, you'll be closer to that crown. You'll be closer to your true self. But at the moment, necessities, I think, are coming first right now. So that's what I'm seeing so far. There's a lot of tiredness. I'm seeing tiredness around you as well, feeling really tired, being up late at night. I don't know why I'm seeing that. Noise, might be noisy around you, but I think even if there wasn't much noise, I think you'd probably be struggling to sleep anyway, because I think that's a problem you've been having recently. So that might be impacting on your work as well. Just be a little bit careful. I'm seeing a little bit of a warning here might be around money, because this is about money, but it's someone who might ask you for something. I think they feel as if you owe them something. It's something like that. I'm not saying don't help anyone, but if someone comes up to you and asks you, can you help me with this? I really need this help. I've got this problem. I need money, because this is money. If they'd say that to you, I'm not saying don't help them, but just do a little bit more research into this. Have a look at the facts. Just see what the situation actually is, because I think they might be omitting things, or they might be not really telling you everything. It might not be the case. It might be absolutely fine. But I just think you should slow down and just have a think about this, look into this before you say yes to anything. That's all I'm saying. Just really make up your mind, research this properly, ask questions. Because the big thing in this card is you're heading somewhere. You're heading toward a business, a career, something that means a lot to you, something that's your crown, something that's at the core of you. So try not to be swayed by other people's agendas. And you're trying to build up your money. That's what I'm seeing here. And if other people are thinking, oh, this person's got some money, I'll have some of that, that's not sending you on your track. That's putting you backwards. So just be very, very careful. I'm not saying being mean like this man in this card and hold on to all your money, but just, if someone does ask you that, just look into it a little bit further before you agree. That's what I'm seeing. Okay, so the next card you have, you passed the Eight of Swords. Yes. Okay, so this feels like a struggle. It feels like a communication struggle. I think someone wants to communicate with you. I think they did at this time. I think they might still be going through this situation with you. I don't know. But that's what was happening at this time. Someone was trying to communicate. They were struggling to communicate. They weren't being able to tell you what they wanted to, or they weren't getting some information from you. That this is how they were feeling, I think. And yeah, this is a love connection. Now, it does feel like there are parts of you that maybe you like to keep to yourself, and that's fine. It's okay to be private. But I think maybe you've learned a lot of this way of acting because of some hurt that you've been through. And I think because of this hurt you've been through in your past, maybe that's why you're not opening yourself up, because you don't want to be vulnerable. So it might be that, because there's a really difficult relationship, I think, that you had where I think you opened yourself up, and then you were reluctant to do that. Took you some time to actually be able to do that, because you come across as being the opposite of that. You come across as being quite open and chatty and friendly and all of that. You have a good sense of humour and everything, and you talk to people. You chat with all kinds of people, but that's different from opening up. That's different from being exposed. That's different from feeling exposed. So you keep a part of yourself to yourself. And that's absolutely fine. But I think when you're in a relationship, it's a different thing. And I think in this old relationship, you were convinced by someone to open yourself up. It took time for you to be able to do that, but then you did eventually, and then you were left hurt. So it was like, well, that just proves it for me. I didn't want to open up, and then I did, and what I thought might happen did actually happen. So that's made you even more likely to keep these things to yourself than you would have before. So I think it just gives you that the thought of opening yourself up might just give you this kind of horrible feeling and memory of what happened at that time, that hurt that you went through. I don't know if that resonates, but that's what I'm seeing. And this person who's trying to communicate with you, they're trying to get closer to you. I don't think they're doing anything bad. I don't think they want to hurt you. I think they want to help you, actually. I'm not seeing any negativity around them. There is some frustration around them because they're trying to communicate, but they're not really getting anywhere with you. So if this is you, if you recognize this in yourself, just try and explain how you're feeling, because I think to them it feels a bit like they're a bit lost. They're going around in a maze, and they can't find the end of the maze, and they can't find what to really do. And it's a very lost feeling, a very kind of, I don't know where I am feeling, very disorientating feeling. So, just try and explain how you feel to them, and why you're closed off, and maybe what happened in the past. And don't worry if you can't get the right words out or whatever. Even the fact that you want to explain, I think that will make a big difference with them. Just the fact that you're trying. So just try and do something. Just try and talk to this person if that resonates with you. Okay, so the last card you have for your past is the Two of Swords. So yeah, you see, this is really similar, same kind of situation. Because if you look at this card, there are rocks in the background, rocks behind this woman. And so you've had a rocky past, you've had lots of problems in love, lots of rocks, lots of problems, and that's what's making you closed off now, like this woman who's closed off. So, and again, it's not that you're a cold person, you're not, you're the opposite. I'm getting the opposite here. You're a warm person, you're a talkative person, but someone's trying to get to know you under that surface, under the surface of chattiness and friendliness, and you're struggling to show them what's under that surface. That's what I'm getting there. It might be that you think you are open, that you think you're fine, but there's definitely a difference between the way they communicate and the way they think that they should communicate and what they should talk about and talk to you about than you do. There are definitely some barriers there. Even if you don't think they're visible to them. They're visible to them. So just at least talk to them, at least say, I'm feeling like this because of what I went through. I just want you to know that. And they'll be really happy just to know that little bit, even a start, even something. That'll make a big difference to them. It's a start. So yeah, again, if that makes sense to you, that's what I'm seeing in that card. Okay, so so the first card you have for your presence, the Six of Cups. Yeah, really nice card. This is a really nice card. It's can be nostalgia, looking back over the past, healing sometimes. And yeah, I think this is healing for you. I think, because from everything I'm seeing here so far, I think there might actually be a part of your past, and that's what I'm seeing in the Eight of Swords, that still needs to heal so that you're able to open up in the future. Because if you look at this card, it's a really beautiful card. People are giving to each other, and they're giving freely. They're not worried about being guarded and, you know, whether they're going to be vulnerable, whether someone's going to hurt them. They're just giving freely, give and take. And I think that's what you have to learn, to give and to receive freely without worrying about, you know, being hurt again. So, you know, I'm not blaming you. Don't think I'm blaming you. Don't think I'm saying, oh, you're not opening up, you're a horrible person. That's not what I'm saying at all. You know, people react to, you know, the way they've been hurt later on. It happens all the time. I've been through a similar thing. I've been hurt, and it takes me some time to open up again because I'm afraid it's going to happen again. And there are people like that in the world, so of course you're going to be afraid. But really, it does feel like you're stopping yourself from enjoying a really beautiful, deep connection with someone who I don't think is out to harm you. They feel very positive to me in this reading. And so I think the key to that, being able to open up, is maybe to look back over what happened in your past and try and resolve that in some way. So if this all resonates, I think maybe, I don't know how you're going to do that. If this is serious, if it's a very serious thing, if it has damaged you, you might even have to seek counselling or something like that, if that, you know, if that makes sense to you, if that's, you know, resonating with you. Okay, so there's something else I'm seeing here. It's a bit difficult. It's quite heavy. Yeah, there's someone who looks back to you. They're looking back to you, and they look back to the time they spent with you. Yeah, it feels as if their energy is around you, actually. It's very heavy. I don't know why their energy is around you. Yeah, I know this is a light card. It's a very light, you know, easy card, but it feels very heavy, this energy. It feels obsessive, actually, like an obsession. Okay, this is probably going to sound a bit strange, but I'll just tell you what I'm seeing. Whoever this is, it feels like they still see you as theirs, like you belong to them. This is someone you've moved on from. You don't talk to them or anything like that. It's really strange. It's like they see you as their territory almost. And yeah, I'm just looking at this X on this card. And you know, when people used to mark their territory, traditionally, they put an X on a map. That's where X marks the spot comes from. So they think you're their territory. That's what I'm getting. They're obsessed and they think you belong to them. There's another X in the Two of Swords as well, where she's crossing her arms. So there's X's here. I don't know if you know who this is, but if this is bothering you, if you know this is kind of happening, if you do know who this is, or even if you don't, check your social media settings, and yeah, if you're in a relationship, ask your partner to check theirs as well, because they might be watching theirs, their social media. So I don't think they're physically doing anything. It feels mental, it feels psychological, spiritual, very, very, very heavy. You know, you might be feeling this heaviness around you. If you are feeling like that, you know, you can clear the heaviness. You can clear the heaviness pretty much immediately. You know, you don't need any tricks or anything like that to do that. All you need to know is that you're super strong. You're very, very, very strong. You're stronger than anyone who's trying to impact on you, because they're trying to impact on your energy. Okay, this probably sounds really silly to a lot of people, but I'll say this anyway. Even if it sounds silly, I don't care, because it might help someone. I want to help someone who's going through this heavy energy. So if you're feeling this heaviness, if this is you, this might work. You don't have to do this. I'm just giving you this because it might work for you. Just sit really still and just put your hand on your chest and just say, you know, repeat this a few times, 20 or 30 times. Really feel it when you're saying it. Really, really feel this. I'm stronger than any outside force. I'm stronger than any outside force. Just keep on saying that a few times. I'm stronger than any outside force. That should take the heaviness away. Usually within an hour, it'll happen. Now, if it comes back, just repeat the same exercise again. But if it comes back again, it should come back weaker next time. And then gradually, it won't come back ever again. Sometimes it takes around a week for this to happen. But the initial thing should go away within an hour if you're doing this really, really doing this and feeling this. You have to really feel this. So if this is you, and I know that probably sounds crazy to a lot of people, but I wanted to say that because if you do try this, let me know. Let me know how you go, maybe in the comments. I might make a separate video about all this kind of thing, maybe about these energies and how to get rid of all kinds of things like that. I've been a victim of them. Even recently I have, and I know how to get rid of them. Yeah. Anyway, I won't say any more about that. So the first card you have for your presence, the Five of Pentacles. Yeah, you see, usually with these people who are a bit obsessed, they can't stop thinking about other people, and they try to push their energies onto whoever they're obsessed with. You know, they're not happy people. You know, obsession never comes from a good place, ever. And if they feel centered in themselves, if that's how they truly feel, they wouldn't worry about what other people were doing, but they're concerned with other people. They're obsessed with other people. And, you know, we all have times when we're a bit down about ourselves and we start comparing ourselves to other people. That's normal. That's a different thing. This is obsessive, completely obsessed. And, you know, if you look at these two poor people on this card, it shows the difference between these two people, and it shows the difference between being able to get out of this condition and not being able to, being stuck in this. It's all mental. It's all inside them, because this person's obsessed with what they're thinking about, which is you. And it's a bit like the woman on this card who's got her head down. She's looking at the snow. She's not looking at where she's going. So they're about to, she might fall over. Anything might happen because she's completely obsessed. But the boy in the front, he's on crutches. Even though he's not well and he can't walk properly, he's looking up. So he's the one who's going to get out of this situation. But regardless of whether they're able to get out of this or not, you've got to think about yourself. You've got to take care of yourself. You've got to protect yourself. Not physically. You're not in any physical harm. This is all psychological, emotional, spiritual. It's all on the inside. But hopefully that's going to make sense to you, and hopefully you'll be able to protect yourself if that's about you. It's a very heavy, very difficult energy, really horrible. Okay, so the last card you have for your presence, the Five of Swords, another horrible card. So yeah, you've got them. So okay, so I'm getting a big message here with this card before I even say anything about this. It's hang in there, stick with what you're doing, stick it out, all of that kind of thing. Stay there, hang in there. So yeah, I'm getting a work situation here. And yeah, I'm seeing a little bit of this in the Four of Pentacles. You know, you're in a job, you're in this job situation, and it doesn't look like this is what you want to do forever. This is all about building yourself back up again, to give yourself options later on so that you can do what you actually do want to do. So, you know, it's not that you've checked out of your work. It actually feels like this is something fairly new, and I'm seeing that again as well in the Four of Pentacles. You know, it's not the be-all and end-all for you. It's not the be-all and end-all, this job. It's a stepping stone to something else. You know, so, you know, you go to work, you do your work, you do everything you're supposed to do, and you come home again. You're not invested in anyone's relationships at work. You're not invested in little gossipy things and all of that. You just want to do your work. So that's what I'm seeing there. But someone around this, they're obviously trying to make problems for you, because if you look at this card, it's obvious. Someone's a problem maker. So it looks a little bit like you've taken over from something. You've taken over something they want to do, or maybe you've taken some of their work over or something. It feels like a territory issue, territorial, if that makes sense. It's like you're encroaching on their territory. You're not, you're just doing your job, but that's how they feel. But yeah, obviously the message in this card is walk away, like these two men are walking away. I'll lift it up so you can see. Yeah, so these two men are walking away. So that's the message there, walk away. Don't engage. You know, I think that's probably what you're doing, because, you know, you go to work, you do your job, you're not interested in any of this politics and all these kind of things. And but, you know, it looks like some of these other people, especially this person who's bothered by you, I don't know why, but they are, they see this job as, you know, part of their identity, part of them. And, you know, when they feel as if a part of that's taken away, which is what I think they think you're doing. You're not, but that's what they think. That's when they start to get all upset and they start doing things and plotting and whatever they're doing. So it feels like they're trying to make this personal. It's not personal to you. Nothing that happens at work is personal to you. So again, just walk away from this. That's the message here. You know, there are a lot of people in this reading who are trying to kind of encroach on your energy. So, you know, just don't forget how strong you are. And, you know, you can use those techniques that I was talking about against this person as well, against their energy. And, you know, they'll kind of leave you alone. Might take a bit longer on this person because they're kind of very determined. I can see that. You know, but it's all about remembering who you are at your core and knowing that, you know, anyone who's trying to attack you in whatever way, they don't have the strength, that kind of strength at their core. Otherwise they wouldn't be as upset and they wouldn't be trying to do that. So just keep on remembering that. Remember how strong you are. Okay, so the first card you have, your future strength. So yeah, this is your strength. Know your strength. Know your strength. So, and again, the calmer you are, the further you'll go. That's the other message I'm seeing in this card. Not calm, not car. Card. I'm saying calm and card and everything all at the same time. So yeah, stay calm. Stay as calm as you can. I need to remember that sometimes, I know. But yeah, with this workplace thing, I have to be honest. I'd love to be able to tell you, you know, they're just going to go away and mind their own business. But I think this is going to keep on carrying on for a while. It is going to fade away eventually, but for a while I'm seeing it carrying on. But yeah, if this is you, stay strong like this lion. Don't make any decisions that are based on their behavior. And yeah, don't make any decisions based on anyone else and what they're doing, especially if it's negative behavior. A decision based on negative behavior from someone else is not going to be the right decision. Always make a decision based on the positive, and make a decision that's based on what's going to benefit you in the long term. Is running away, is being angry, is yelling, whatever, going to benefit you in the long term? You know, don't get angry and walk off, because this card also can be about taming your temper and also being the bigger person, because the woman and the lion on this card, they're bigger than the landscape around them. Now, I'm not saying never talk back. I'm not saying never fight back or anything like that. I'm an Aries, so no, I'm not saying that at all. And no, I don't think people should just get away with things. I absolutely don't. I'm all for justice. I believe in that. But I'm talking about what I'm seeing here in this particular situation, and I'm looking at the best way to deal with this specific thing that I'm seeing here. Every situation's different. So this is about you being able to stay where you are, to build up what you need, and, you know, only leave or do whatever you want on your terms, not on anyone else's, and when you are ready, not when someone pushes you. So I hope that makes sense. I hope that helps someone, because I do think this person would really like to ultimately push you out or do something. Don't let them do that. Remember how strong you are. Remember this lion if they start to do this thing, things like that. So yeah, so the next card you have, your futures, the Hanged Man. So yeah, this is really all about this work thing. It's coming up all the time, so it's quite a strong, difficult thing if this is resonating with you. And I'm going to talk about these two cards together, this and the Seven of Swords, which is another horrible card, I have to say. So yeah, the Hanged Man can be about sacrifice, you know, sacrificing something for the greater good. So again, hang in there with the Hanged Man. You might have to sacrifice a little bit of comfort now dealing with this difficult person for what you ultimately want. So it's that, because you do want to do something else ultimately. And you know, this man's got this halo around his head. It's like a big light ball with ideas. And I think you've got lots and lots of ideas of what you want to do when you're out of this situation. But if you leave the situation prematurely, which I think is what this person's trying to push you into, you might not be able to realise those ideas because you won't have enough backup behind you, whether that's money, It's probably money. There are a lot of coins here. Or it might be experience, or it might be both. So you need to stay as long as you can. I don't mean to sound bossy. If I'm sounding bossy, I apologise. But it's just that, I want you to realise your dreams. I want you to realise your goals. I don't want you to rush off because someone's trying to push you. I want you to know how strong you are, and I want you to stay in your strength. People like this man in the Seven of Swords down here, and like the man in the Five of Swords that's right next to him. Lovely pair they are. They're in just about every workplace, sadly. I'm being realistic. I'm not being negative. I'm being realistic. They are. These people are everywhere. They're in schools. They're in the workplace. They're all over the place. So, if you jump out of this quickly into something else, it might not be all that better. And it is going to fade away. This person is, or their behaviour is going to fade off after a while. You are working on this thing while you're there, and you're doing your best for yourself, and you're getting somewhere. And this is taking you to where you want to go. So again, hang in there if this is you. If you do want to leave, if you do feel that strongly, don't jump quickly. Purposely look for something else. Take your time while you're still there. That's a different thing from jumping out.